Here's three little short poems. It's called Three for the Pearl River. 1. Beneath the hanging banyans, we open 3 warm beers and toast the floating moon that lights the muddy pearl. 2. Arm in arm, the giggling girls stroll down the promenade. 2 fragile nests of pink chiffon make home their raven hair. 3. 10,000 chiming bicycles roll down these Guangzhou streets. As lipstick mirrors a lover, neon graces the pearl's cheeks. This is called The Tombs of Ma Wangdui. Inside the crystal coffin, under dim museum light, the mummified concubine looks unhappy with death. Delicate black slippers embroidered with gold, fine silk robes, thin as cicada wings, light as mist. And woven in her ancient hair, a swirl of milky jade, left as a seal by her lover to the untampered world. Western Han mistress, once as beautiful as Yangwei Fei, stares patiently at eternity while uniformed schoolgirls file past. Western Han mistress, once as rich as the Yellow River plains, knows the cold wind of antiquity, the face of civilization where the soul has no witness. Tonight in my room, I'll light incense for her, pour a cup of rice whiskey, and watch the old River Xiang shine a skunk stripe of moonlight down the middle of its starlit back. Oh, here's one. It's called Travel Advice. This is for Bill. I hope this isn't too travel advice. In China, a bus nearly empty tells you a lot of where you are headed. A puddle of puke on the floor, even more about who drives you there. We got on this bus and thought, oh Jesus, it's going to be a long drive. And we sat down, somebody puked in front of us, and Bill looks at me and goes, oh no, we got a crappy driver. That's right. Okay, this one's called Guanxiao Temple. And this is, well, it's a true story. Of course it's a true story. It's a poem. But, yeah, when I got to China, I'm not a Buddhist, mostly because I'm lazy. But also, but I'm a steadfast ally. Let's put it that way. So I noticed that these poems, you know, Buddhism sort of started creeping in a little here and there. So anyway, this is sort of, I was rolling a smoke, and this old monk saw me, and it was like we just, he came running over to me and handed me this thing. Here we go. Guanxiao Temple. In the freshly raked courtyard of Guanxiao Temple, near the open well Bodhidharma is said to have dug, an elderly monk watches me rolling a smoke in the shade of a camphor tree. Green to the ways of the Orient, a failure in the ways of the West, I manage a hello in clumsy Chinese, ni hao, and a wave and a tip of the hat. Like some old friend slipping out a boxcar door, he double times it my way, his thin clasped hands bobbing up and down in front of a smiling, weathered face. Under shaved gray stubble, the shiny tracks of incense cones, burned as a boy on his head, gleam like new skin in the oily sunlight. What now? Do I give him a bow? Offer my hand for shaking? In a confused and goofy dance, I do both at once, And my hand comes back with the image of Titsang, Bodhisattva of hell, in a plastic laminated shield. A get out of hell card free? I use the last of my Mandarin. Sheshe, I tell him, thank you, and pocket the saint with a crown of flames, feeling flesh as a bet, sticking fast with 4 aces. Finding Du Fu's grave. This is, I guess, when Little Heaven. I mentioned Little Heaven in it. It's a village where Du Fu's buried. I guess that's the only thing you need to know. Finding Du Fu's grave.
Who's Du Fu? So.
Du Fu's sort of the Walt Whitman of China.
Mm-hmm.
He's the main dude. So we had to find his grave, just like we had to find Walt Whitman's grave. Okay, finding Du Fu's grave. In search of Du Fu's resting place along the red clay road, green fields of farmers laugh and wave. To ghosts we soon will know. In search of Du Fu's resting place, we ascend to Little Heaven. 6 tiny angels climb aboard. This cloud now holds 11. In search of Du Fu's resting place, deep kilns like geysers smoke. Old Ditsang must be telling us our destination's close. In search of Du Fu's resting place, where slender hemp does sway, we give our friend 3 heartfelt bows for helping find the way. Okay, maybe just a couple more of these. Hangzhou. Hangzhou is my favorite city in China. I just love this place. In fact, a friend of ours who's a poet is living there now. Hangzhou. After a day of temple hopping, my nose full of incense soot and ears ringing with the drone of chanting monks, I step outside to shake it off, to watch the good familiar sun turn west like copper as it drops behind low hills. Far out on the water, rowboats skim the tiny waves that glitter like dragon scales in the ebbing light. And just beyond the temple gate, an old woman sells good luck cigarettes, plastic guanyins, and dusty blue finches singing from a bamboo cage. This charmed and gentle town could tame a hobo's rangy heart, clear the hermit's mind of mountains that graze on floating mist, or turn a traveler's thoughts to defection, a houseboat on the Grand Canal. But this time tomorrow, from the back of a Chinese bus, like a dream, I'll watch it vanish in a rooster tail of dust. And this is the last. Actually, this poem at some point is going to get switched into another book. It's the only Silk Road poem. I don't know why I put it in here. I did, though. It's called Breaking the Silk Road Fever. And this, Bill and I were sick enough that we were really scratching our heads about maybe just blowing our brains out. We got really sick. So this is called Breaking the Silk Road Fever. Above the Chilean mountains, a blooming midnight moon brushes a pearly wash across the shimmering Gobi. I open broken windows, feel the cool desert breeze, and watch a string of snow-white camels take a long, stinging drink.